Hey Aaron, big fan of your skate sport videos and all your trick tips and stuff. And I'm just making this quick skate sport with my kickflips. And I know you've got a lot of these, and I really didn't want to send another one in, but I've watched all the other ones, and it's kind of not helping my problem. I'm not having the problem that everyone else is having, where their front foot's touching the ground first, or they're just not jumping high enough and such. My problem really is my board is rotating a bit like in a pop shove it motion. So like usually when you kickflip, when someone good kickflips like you does a kickflip, the kickflip stays straight with the skater in the direction they're going, so it stays straight. Whereas my board, if I was going towards the camera, say, and doing a kickflip, my board would go in a pop shove it direction and land angled. And I get the flip, but it wouldn't look very good. So, yeah, I'm just making the skate sport to...
Thanks a lot for sending in your video. I really like that you showed me the different tricks that you can do before the kickflip, and I really liked how you put this together, so thanks a lot. Your ollies look really good, they're nice and popped, and you level them out in the air, so that's good. It's cool, you got your nollies down. Already starting to learn a little switch pop there. I like that. And then your pop shove-its look really good. You got your pop shove-its down really well, obviously. The board is nice and flat and popped. Now straight into the kickflip. Usually I recommend learning a few more tricks than just those before you're getting into the kickflip, and I'm sure you do have a few more, but you just didn't show them. So the very first thing that I noticed on your kickflip is that your stance for your pop shove-it and your kickflip look almost exactly the same. This is a still frame of you setting up for a pop shove-it, and this is a still frame of you setting up for a kickflip. So your back foot is in the exact same position popped to do a shove-it motion. Now even though your back foot doesn't pop for the shove-it on the kickflip, notice that your board still goes shove-it a little bit. So it's literally like you're doing almost the exact same foot position for both of the tricks. And I understand from this angle it might be a little bit hard to tell, but still, like, you're setting up the same. So if you really have your pop shove it down and your feet get so used to doing that pop shove it, and then you go into the kickflip, your feet still do a little bit of a pop shove it motion. It's kind of a weird thing with skateboarding that some tricks will carry over into the next trick, but you have to be able to do each trick just as its own, because obviously, like you said, you want to keep the kickflip straight. The kickflip should not be pop shoving. For example, when I was learning, I learned how to do varial kickflips early on, and then when I learned how to do 360 flips, my back foot was so used to just doing that extra hard scoop that it was very hard for me to go back to doing varial flips. So right now, I can do 3 flips anytime, they're so easy, but for me to do a varial kickflip, I have to really think about it. I have to really concentrate to not make my back foot do that shove it motion. Usually what's happening when the board turns a little bit like this is that you're turning your upper body, your head and your shoulders. I was trying to look for that really carefully, and I could not really see you doing that too much. On some of them, you're turning your head and your shoulders a little bit, which might account for the turn. But the basic thing, I think, here is that you're just continuing over a slight bit of that pop shove it motion with your back foot, even though you're not quite realizing it. It's weird because your board pops almost straight up, but then at the peak of its height, your board starts to turn in that shove it direction. So your feet are definitely making it do that. And I believe the reason why is because you have your feet set up in the exact same position that you do for the pop shove it, and you got so used to just doing that motion that it just carries over. So notice when I'm doing my kickflips, my feet are pretty well spread apart. My front foot is up near the front bolts, and my back foot is right there on the tail, right in that little pocket. And then when I pop my back foot, I pop it straight down, and as soon as it hits the ground, I bring it straight up. There's no shove it motion, there's no swipe. My back foot is not in the same position I would put it in for a pop shove it. It's more in a popping straight down position. You got to be careful because even setting your feet up in the position to have your feet do like any kind of a scoop can cause the board to spin in that kind of a direction. So make sure you're popping straight down and then flicking straight up with your front foot. Your flick actually looks really good. You just gotta hone it and practice it and get it so you're catching the board every single time. If any of you guys are trying to learn how to do kickflips, you gotta just use Skateboarding Made Simple. If you do every step in Skateboarding Made Simple and just follow all the directions one by one, at the end of the video, you'll be doing kickflips. It's designed so you can progress fast and never get stuck. So click the red annotation and get the video today. It'll help you progress super fast in your skating, and you're gonna love it. Thanks a lot for all of your guys' help and support.